Every story has a witness, but not every witness lives to tell it. Real-life incident stories.
In law enforcement, a death notification follows a specific set of steps. It's a clinical process designed to manage high-stress situations by providing a predictable structure for both the officer and the family. For an officer in Texas, this process began with a fatal head-on collision on a county highway, several miles away from the victim's home. The official logs show the crash happened well before the officer was ever dispatched. By the time he was sent to notify the family, the victim had been deceased for over an hour. He arrived at the address at 1 a.m. The property was blocked by a rusted iron gate, cutting off the long driveway from the main road. On the other side of that gate, an older woman was standing in the rain. She was waiting for him. She told him she'd heard his car coming from a long way off. She confirmed she lived at the house, but mentioned the porch light was out, asking the officer to walk to 75 yards with her through the dark. This initial interaction fit perfectly into a standard notification scenario. Finding a relative waiting at the edge of a property is common enough that nothing about the encounter seemed out of place. The property layout was simple. A single straight path ran 75 yards from the gate to the house. There were no side buildings, no dense tree line along the path, and no alternative routes to the front door. To maintain full control of the environment, police are trained to move subjects inside a house before delivering news of a death. They walked together in total darkness. The officer followed closely, using his flashlight to illuminate the dirt path. Reaching the porch, he panned his light to scan the yard. Turning back to the path, he saw only empty space. In an open driveway with no nearby cover, there was no clear place for her to have gone. The officer was now standing alone on the porch, looking for a person who had been right in front of him moments earlier. The empty porch changed the nature of the call. The officer's focus shifted from delivering a message to figuring out where the woman had disappeared to. The front door opened before he could knock. A younger woman stood there, clearly surprised to see a police officer on her doorstep in the middle of the night. He asked to speak with the adults inside and mentioned the older woman who had met him at the gate. The younger woman's reaction was one of absolute confusion. She told him no one else was on the property. He immediately searched the area. He checked the porch, the immediate perimeter with his light, but found no footprints and no sign of anyone hiding. With no physical trace of the woman he'd just spoken to, the officer had to return to his original duty. He stepped inside to speak with the family. Once inside, he delivered the notification. He told the younger woman that her mother, Susan, had been involved in a fatal accident. The daughter explained that Susan had recently moved into the house to be with them, having struggled to live alone after her husband passed away. As the family sat together, the officer stood back, his eyes moving across the photos and personal items in the living room. He stopped when he saw a photo on the mantel. It showed the same woman he had met at the gate, wearing the same faded trench coat he'd seen in his flashlight beam. The daughter confirmed the woman in the photo was her mother, the same person the officer knew was currently at a crash site miles away. The timeline of the accident is a matter of record. At the exact moment the officer was speaking to a woman at a gate and walking 75 yards to a front door, that woman was miles away, already deceased. Police procedures are designed to provide a logical framework for dealing with death, but those protocols don't account for the moment the person you're there to report dead is the one who walks you to the door.